So a Texas judge dismissed the NRA's attempt to file bankruptcy. What does this mean going forward for the National Rifle Association? A lot. Sit by and watch this episode of Guns and Gadgets to learn more. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, the premier source for Second Amendment news. Before I jump into this, I want to remind everybody about the USCCA. The United States Concealed Carry Association has some fantastic training, some education, all kinds of great movies and videos. I sounded like an old person when I said movies. You're gonna watch that movie? But the USCCA has a lot of educational material that you can benefit from, whether you're a new gun owner or an old salty vet. And as a byproduct of your membership, you also get self-defense liability insurance. You can check them out. The link is down below. It's uscca.com/GNG. You can cancel at any time as well. It's what I use for myself and my family. And it's probably a really good idea to have some type of insurance. God forbid you have to defend yourself. So check them out, uscca.com/GNG. Let's get into this news about the NRA. So I've kind of documented it here over the last couple years of the troubles that the NRA has been in. In fact, I even have a playlist I'll put above if I can remember. But they filed bankruptcy. And why did they file bankruptcy? It's kind of shady what they did, and I called it out back then too. They're being sued to the point where the Attorney General of New York, where they are chartered, her name is Letitia James, and she has a very strong lawsuit against the NRA. Again, I've done videos on this stuff before. But she's looking to just like dismember them, just to dissolve them for a lot of different reasons that a lot of people know about, you know, lavish expense styles and spending money that they shouldn't have, and the whole thing that is wrong with the NRA. So the NRA filed bankruptcy in New York. Well, actually, no, they didn't. They filed bankruptcy in Texas. They should have filed in New York because that's where they are. That's where they're chartered, even though their headquarters are in a different location. So they filed bankruptcy in Texas in order to get away from the lawsuit in New York and to be able to reestablish their charter and set up shop in Texas. Well, for a while, that's been going through the process. Well, there was a long period of time. It was like a week and a half, 2 weeks of testimony that, you know, things were getting leaked here and there. But it looked real. I mean, it's bad. All right. If you don't know the dirt about the NRA, watch some of my videos and other people did videos. And there's a lot of stuff out there damning them. And before I kill the NRA, I just want to say there are a lot of facets, functions of the NRA that are still doing a hell of a job. The instructors out there do a hell of a job training people, their programs and getting new people into hunting and shooting and all that stuff is really, really good. They're supposed to do more of it, and that's the problem. Wayne and his cronies are the issue, the leadership. But it is what it is. So the judge came down on the 11th and dismissed the NRA's bankruptcy case. Now I'm going to show you the decision by the judge on the screen here in a second, but I want people to know what this means going forward. This means that Letitia James, the AG of New York's lawsuit to dissolve the NRA, can now move forward. And I would assume that all of the testimony that was in this bankruptcy case that was dismissed will show up in her lawsuit as well. Now, the NRA did release a statement immediately, putting as positive a light as they could on it, but the facts remain. They are in some serious, serious trouble going forward, to the point where I'm hearing from other people who are in the know that they wouldn't be surprised if some people did some time over this. Now, here on the screen is the first page of this order granting motions to dismiss on the bankruptcy case that was filed in the Dallas division. And what I'm going to show you next is the meat and potatoes of it. This is the conclusion. This thing is 37, 38 technical pages long. So I'll read you the conclusion, and I'll have a link down below if you want to read this yourself. And it's pretty damning. So it says, there are several aspects of this case that still trouble the court, including the manner and secrecy in which authority to file the case was obtained in the first place, the related lack of express disclosure of the intended Chapter 11 case to the board of directors and most of the elected officers, the ability of the debtor to pay its debts, and the primary legal problem of the debtor being a state regulatory action. What that means in plain English is Wayne didn't tell the board he was going to file. He didn't tell their elected officers he was going to file. They just filed this Chapter 11 bankruptcy behind everybody's back in an attempt to save their booty from this lawsuit in New York. It continues, the court agrees with the New York Attorney General that the National Rifle Association is using this bankruptcy case to address a regulatory enforcement problem, not a financial one. And I did a video discussing that right after they filed, that Wayne was bragging that they had a ton of money, yet they were filing a bankruptcy. The court finds that the NRA did not file the bankruptcy petition in good faith because this filing was not for a purpose intended or sanctioned by the Bankruptcy Code. Therefore, cause exists under Section 1112 Bravo to dismiss this case, which the court finds is in the best interest of creditors and the estate. The court is not dismissing this case with prejudice, but should the NRA file a new bankruptcy case, this court would immediately take up some of its concerns about disclosure, transparency, secrecy, conflicts of interest of officers and litigation counsel, and the unusual involvement of litigation counsel in the affairs of the NRA, which could cause the appointment of a trustee out of a concern that the NRA could not fulfill the fiduciary duty required by the Bankruptcy Code for a debtor in possession. It is therefore ordered that the motions to dismiss are granted and the above captioned cases are dismissed without prejudice. It is further ordered that the examiner motion is denied as moot. It is further ordered that the CRO motion is denied as moot. So the case has been dismissed, and that part about without prejudice, but is telling the NRA that you can refile a bankruptcy, but if you do, we're going to bring out all the dirt and we're going to look deeper into this, and it's probably going to be really, really, really bad for the NRA. Now, there is a status conference hearing tomorrow at 10 a.m. in Texas, but that's the creditors' side of it. So this is going to be this is damning for the NRA. I mean, this is really bad for the NRA. Now, I will say, a lot of people out there right now are like, yeah, you know, down with the NRA and down with Wayne. And I agree that, like, the executive board, the board of directors, officers, they should all be axed like 2 years ago. And that's my personal belief. And I think that if that was done a while ago, we probably could have saved the NRA. Now, we still need the NRA, guys and gals. A lot of people are like, no, we don't need them. GOA and FPC. Absolutely. I'm a member of both. I have friends in both. I'm helping both as much as I can. But even they will tell you that the NRA, it's like think about like an octopus. The tentacles go everywhere, right? If the octopus is pro 2A or Second Amendment defense groups, the tentacles are each group. The NRA is a very large tentacle. They spend a lot of money, even though they're not doing what they should be doing the way they should. They still spend a lot of, well, not the last couple of years, but you know what I mean. They still spend a lot of money lobbying, and even did a lot of lobbying in some cases you've heard me talk about here lately. To have that deleted is a big vacuum, a big void that would be created. Yeah, I strongly believe that GOA and FPC and even Second Amendment Foundation, they're all doing great stuff, and they're all growing, but they're not as big as the NRA, and it's going to take a long time for that void to be filled should the NRA go away. And I'm interested in your thoughts down below. I think that an NRA, if it were to fix itself, I don't know if it can. Honestly, there's so many moving parts, so much corruption in there. I don't know if it can be fixed, to be honest with you. But I think that if we could fix the NRA somehow, like magical pixie dust, it would be much better for us going forward because of the sheer size and the money and all that. But let me know down below. I want to hear your input. I know there's going to be some people like, screw them. And it's warranted. It's 100% warranted because I've said it numerous times myself, even on camera. Screw the NRA. You know, they are not activists lately. But if there's a way to fix them, what do you guys think down below? I'd love to hear it. I appreciate each and every single one of you. If you're not a member of Guns and Gadgets, please hit that subscribe button down below. Toggle that bell icon on so that you get notifications of when I put out new videos. And also consider subscribing or joining or following my other outlets, my social media. It's in the description of every video. And until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a weapon. Thank you so much for your support throughout the years. It means the world to me. I will see you on the next one. This is video 2 of the day. So if you haven't seen the second one, the first one, second one, you know what I mean. It's gonna be a couple videos today. Check them out. Take care, everybody.